Welcome everyone, Tim Thiesen Live, broadcasting from the palatial studios of Central Valley Talk here in the Tower District of Fresno, a nice hot summer afternoon in the Central Valley of California. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to have to mix and match a little bit on our schedule today. We had a couple of problems, but we have a full show for you. This show is all about hope, growth, and prosperity. Any direction our government takes us other than that is always the wrong direction. And knowledge is what empowers us to make good decisions and help those around us each and every day of our life. Today's program is brought to you by the National Federation of Independent Business, the Voice of Small Business, Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, and Horn Photo here in Fresno for all your cameras, photo archiving, and everything that has to do with photography, all bundled up into one with the great folks down at Horn Photo. Without further ado, we're going to go to my first group of guests. We've got a whole bunch of them in here today, and starting with my good friend Romelia Castillo from Orosi. And Romelia, I'll let you introduce everybody else here on the set with us today, and then we're going to start talking about your new project in Dinuba, Cutler, and Orosi.
Thank you for having us here this afternoon. Yes, right here behind me and to my right is Moses Ibarra. He's representing the Vietnam veterans, Post 643 of Dinuba. He's a retired Army. Mm-hmm. Behind me is Ronnie Castillo, my husband, who's a big supporter of veterans.
And we need to keep an eye on him, by the way, folks.
Okay.
So, at times, so.
And here to my left is Joe Rivera, who's also a member of the Vietnam veterans at Post 643, retired Marine, and also with American Legion, Post 19 out of Dinuba.
Okay, very good. Now, we've had you on before for various projects, and the project that's coming up for this fall is going to be bringing the replica of the Vietnam Wall.
That is correct.
And that's going to be coming to Dinuba?
Dinuba Memorial Hall, and we're purchasing the wall. Okay. That's why we're here this afternoon.
Okay, and so the replica of the wall, you're going to have a lot of costs involved, but you're going to be drawing a large group of people, right?
Yes, that's correct.
From all over, probably California?
Central Valley. Well, what they tell me, the company said, once we bring the wall to Dinuba, there's not another wall that could come in with 100 miles. We're talking from Bakersfield to Los Baños.
Okay, excellent. So anyway, and I believe you're going to be doing a escort.
Yes, we're going to be doing an escort as it comes in. We'll probably do it from Tulare, from the Goshen, Harley-Davidson, all the way to the Dinuba Memorial Hall.
Excellent. So anyway, if we could get some of the guys here too to kind of chime in, I believe. Are all of you Vietnam veterans?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes. Okay. Well, why don't you? I always like hearing from those. And by the way, thank you for your service. It is greatly appreciated. This show is always a fan of the military and our veterans. So if you want to lead off why this is really important to you guys, having served in the Vietnam War.
Well, for me especially, I'm a retired Marine. I put in 21 years active duty, and coming out of Vietnam, that's where I kind of hit a little bit about what happened in Vietnam. But now that I'm here, well, I see that there's a lot of other veterans that want to see the wall, and they want to be part of it. A lot of them because they lost someone, or they're just curious about it. And for me, it happened out of my high school class in Reedley High School. There was 13 classmates that died out of Vietnam, and out of those, they were my classmates. And some of those were personal friends of mine that we were kids together, played together, and the last time I saw them was at school. And to me, it's like I'm bringing them home. And
and understand this is still a tough deal, very tough. Ronnie, or anybody else want to chime in on this? Moses.
Okay. All right. To me, the Vietnam Memorial Wall has a lot of meanings, and to me, it really tells what the reality of war is. The insanity and the loss of life. And the wall, what it does is that it's just a bunch of names, but what I wanted to, actually say is that these names were once live individuals, individuals that had all these dreams and no longer can have them. And then one thing neat about the wall is that what they're trying to do is that they're trying to associated with each name now, what they're trying to do is put a picture or a photograph. So in essence, will show that all these names were at one time real people. And then hopefully, that people will start to learn that, war has nothing good about it. And, hopefully, people will learn, from seeing all these names and photographs that one day we may no longer have wars.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you folks have the stats. Fresno County, Tulare County, Kings County, and Kern County. I think those 4 counties paid in lives in the Vietnam War, for a region, one of the highest prices. If I remember right, it was just outstanding numbers. So anyway, Ronnie, did you want to chime in with anything?
No, Moses, I couldn't add to that more. We're supporting it. Joe said himself, a lot of brothers and sisters, moms and dads don't have the funds to go to D.C. and see it. And you might say, well, it does travel around California, but when you do, by the time you find out, I've talked to a lot of, brothers and sisters, like I said, they said, well, we didn't know it was in Porterville, or we didn't know it was in Tulare. By the time we found out it was too late for us to go see it. But having a permanent wall here will give everyone plenty of time to see this wall. You won't have to travel to D.C.
Okay.
So it's really important that even the West Coast have one.
Okay. Now the replica that you're purchasing, where is that? Is it going to stay here or Romelia?
It'll be permanently put there in Dinuba,
Okay.
Anelta,
Okay.
at the Memorial Hall building.
Okay.
Outside it'll be.
Excellent. Okay, and they're going to dedicate a
They're gonna
special spot
dedicate it,
for it.
yes.
Okay. That's very good, and it's important that we remember that the consequences of that war. And we lost a lot of lives. I lost a couple of buddies there, some that made it through. And they didn't make it through, though. The ones that came home, some are still have ongoing problems, and we're all getting up there without disclosing your ages, but we're all the same age. And, it's a tough deal, and we always need to remember the sacrifices that have been made and continue to be made in the name of freedom. And it's very important. So now let's talk about the fundraising and the money. You need to raise $100,000.
$100,000. We need to raise the first portion down payment, $35,000 by the 20th of August.
Okay.
And send it in 30 days. Well, actually, they say 90 days. But according to our schedule, we want to dedicate it here October 29th, which is a Wednesday evening, which we will be having our Veterans Dinner at the Dinuba Memorial Hall. And I'm also having a separate fundraiser to feed 200 veterans at no cost to them. It's because we're honoring the veterans. And at that time, we'll also announce a grand marshal for our Veterans Parade there in the area also. And Tim, there was 58,282 names on that wall. So that's a lot of veterans. A lot of our heroes didn't come back home.
Yeah.
And this is one way to pay their respect,
Yeah.
that we haven't forgotten them.
Absolutely, and I think it's extremely important. And so now, how's the best way to? First of all, folks, how's the best way to contact you?
The best way to contact, I'm representing, we're under the American Legion, Post
Okay.
19 out of Dinuba.
Okay.
And we have opened an account at Robobank in Dinuba.
Okay.
There's an account. All you have to do is go down there, speak to Mike, the branch manager, and he has an account there for us. If you want to get a hold of us, you may call us at 559-528-3161. Draw an email, romeliasr@yahoo.com. We also have a Facebook account, fundme.com. We have an account there also in the internet.
Okay, very, very good. And if nothing else fails, folks, contact me, Tim at centralvalleytalk.com, and I will make sure that the information gets directed where it needs to go. This is a noble and a very high cause, and go forward from there. So your first fundraiser again is going to be,
Well, what we're doing right now is, like I went in front of the city of Dinuba, and they were able to give us a donation. And I also met with the city Lions Club of Dinuba. They gave us some money to a pledge. And so I'm going to all the community services there in Cutler, Rosie, Dinuba, Reedley, Woodlake, Visalia. I contacted a lot of the veterans group. On this Thursday, I was invited to go at 6:30 to the Visalia MVets Post 22. So I'm hoping that once speaking to them, and before they gave, when we brought the wall into the Cutler Ledbetter Park 2011, all these veterans group, they all contribute financial help to bring in the wall. At that time, we only had to raise $12,000. But again, it was for rent for 6 days.
Right.
This is $100,000, but it's going to stay permanently. And we'll be able to show the public a lot of special occasions and celebrations like Memorial Day, Veterans Day. And it's an educational experience for the schools to come in and the community members. Like Ronnie said, there's a lot of people that can't go to D.C. It could be maybe financially, or maybe their health condition doesn't permit for them to travel that far. They could always come and visit this wall.
okay, that's just absolutely excellent, and hopefully that's going to be another crown jewel for the Valley for
Yes.
people to come and visit everywhere, and a great tribute to those
Our
that
veterans.
served and continue to serve, and those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. And we just never want any of these wars to ever be forgotten, and those sacrifices, because in our communities, South County and Northern Tulare County, we paid a very high price. Okay, thank you all for coming in today, and we're going to keep beating the drum, and our audience is going to be treated to more of this
Yes.
every 30 days until we get
Thank
this
you.
thing done. Okay, folks, we're going to be right back after these messages.